if you want to understand, you know, Donald Trump, don't watch Hungary, watch professional wrestling. It's like if you understand the ethos of professional wrestling, if you understand the total commitment to the warrior mentality, every day is a war. It's effective leadership. It's I do this thing and you react. So like he's not going to win all of these things, but he's going to keep everybody so busy reacting. He sets the tempo. He chooses what we're paying attention to.
Do you think he actually read those executive orders before he signed them?
I think Donald Trump leads through commander's intent, what they call commander's intent in the military, which is, you know, a good general says, um, I want you to seize Mosul or Fallujah. I'm not going to write the plan. You do the plan. I don't think it's necessary. He says to Stephen Miller, keep immigrants out of the country. And Stephen Miller goes off and figures out how to do that. It's very interesting. I used to make fun of this, but now I don't. Do I have 1 minute to tell an interesting story from
Please, yes.
2019? Um, I remember this it's so well. John Kasich is visited in, I guess, like early spring of 2016 by Don Jr. And Don Jr., or maybe it's late spring. Don Jr. says to John Kasich, my father is considering you as one of his vice presidential possibilities. What do you think of that? And he said, interesting. And he said, well, do you have any questions? And he said, yeah, I want to know, normal question to ask, what would the vice president in a Trump administration and a Trump White House do? And Don Jr. said, the vice president in the Trump presidency would be in charge of foreign and domestic policy. And John Kasich said, essentially, that's all the policy. There's only like domestic and foreign. What does the president do? And Don Jr. looked at him like, well, what does the president do? He makes America great again. And it sounds ridiculous, but I think there's actually there's a kind of management genius to that, which is like, yeah, you go, here's what I want. Here's the 5 things that I want. I want Greenland. I want out of NATO. I want single gender bathrooms. I want no DEI. I want. Here's the 15, 20 things. Just you people go make this happen. I'm going to go watch TV. But that's like, remember Jimmy Carter was like managing who was using the White House tennis court. You can get so like whether he read it or not, I'm not going to guess. Does it matter? Not really, because it's carrying out the vision.
Yeah. And a lot of it is going to be challenged in court, and already have, I think, 22 states challenging the birthright citizenship EO. So you have an article
Back to the
on.
Constitution, it's not going to be so uneasy to ravel. But here's the thing. This is in one sense, maybe a perverted sense, but in one sense, it's effective leadership. It's I do this thing and you react. I'm going to do another thing before you even have a chance to finish reacting to the previous thing. So I need you to react again. And then I'm going to do 10 other things that actually will get through on executive order, or because Mike Johnson and John Thune are behind me, or whatever, or because the Supreme Court is 1/3 people I put on the Supreme Court. So like he's not going to win all of these things, but he's going to keep everybody so busy reacting. He sets the tempo. He chooses what we're paying attention to. Like there is like, I mean, it's almost, I mean, it's kind of awe-inspiring. Again, I'm not saying that in a positive way, but you want to talk about effective leadership? I mean, and
Yeah.
going back to this Orban thing, this is what a populist does, what an autocrat does, is he knows the trigger points for the citizens, right? Um, eggs are too expensive. Eggs are too expensive. Eggs are too expensive. I mean, if you want to understand, Donald Trump, don't watch Hungary, watch professional wrestling. That's what I've always thought that. It's like if you understand the ethos of professional wrestling, if you understand the total commitment to the warrior mentality, every day is a war. Every day is a war in which my enemy must be destroyed. That's how he keeps people on the back foot. Is he an autocrat? He's a populist? Yeah. Is he an autocrat? I think he has autocratic tendencies. I don't know if he's going to get things through, that would once and for all clearly show that we live in an autocracy. Maybe we already do live in an autocracy and we're just not aware of, to borrow from Orwell, the things that are right in front of our nose.
Mhm.
I'm not going to answer the question because I think it's too early to say, and I don't want to get pinned down on that. But, you know, clearly he admires Orban. How do we know that? Because he says he admires Orban. Clearly he admires strong men. He has models. Autocrats are his models. He does not like the Prime Minister of Denmark. He does not like the Prime Minister of Great Britain because they're weak. They're consultative. They
Right.
have parliaments. They listen to parliament. They listen, they they don't duke it out. They're not they could never survive in professional wrestling.